Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
Welcome back
to the
Let's go.
Far From Pro podcast. It has been a while. I am your host, Evan Walsh, and with me is my co-host, Joseph Meyer, and I believe it is safe to say that the Los Angeles Rams are frauds. Complete and utter frauds. I think we can just get right into it. It's been a while. We've been gone for a few weeks. School has started, folks. It is that time of the year.
School's been racking up here. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's a Cornhusker.
Been a busy
Can't
weeks.
forget it, folks.
Yeah.
And, you had a rough first week in the college football world, and now the Cornhuskers have found a way to bounce back. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. Let's talk about the Rams and the first game of the NFL season. By the way, let's get a round of applause for fall.
It was glorious.
In the NFL season. Football is back.
It was glorious.
Oh, God, how good did it feel, Joseph, to just sit
felt
on your
so
couch
good.
and just see the NFL in front of you. It's in front of you. It's right there. It's right there.
Storylines. The storylines that are going to start to unravel as the season goes. It's just so good. So good. So happy to be back.
100%. So hot or not, I'm going to start us off here. I'm going to give us a little hot.
Start us off.
Nick Kyrgios.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know, professional tennis player. But some would say he's the bad boy at tennis. He tends to have a lot of temper tantrums. He tends to, kind of get his way on things. He's sort of a diva-ish, sort of like an Aaron Rodgers type player, some would say. And I think it's great for tennis. I think it brings excitement to tennis, and I think this guy is a true talent. He beat the world number one last couple weekends ago. He's a very good tennis player, but more importantly, he's really bringing some excitement and tension back into the tennis world. I love this guy, and he's got some style, too. He dresses well. He's also a little bit of a party animal. So, he's really good for tennis. I think it gives a really good demonstration to be like, tennis can be cool. They can find a way to make tennis cool, and this guy's doing it. Slide on over to you, Joseph. What do you got for a hot this week?
Yeah, I love that hot. I'm going to be a little more selfish with my hot. So, coming into this year with our Far From Pro Fantasy League, I wasn't feeling too great. I was like, I wasn't feeling great about my team. Didn't love some of the picks that I got. But man, after last night, am I feeling good. You want to know how many points I scored last night, Evan, in our league? That I'm going to destroy you and 12 others or 11 others. 84 in one night. Josh Allen, 31. Cooper Kupp, 31. Gabriel Davis, 18. Gotta love it. And Gabriel Davis, my flex, by the way. I'm feeling good. I am ready to take down all the lovely Far From Pro fantasy players and talk a little smack along the way because I get to talk smack into the microphone and no one else really gets to come at me if I win. So I'm hot for the week. Let's just get that.
Funny. That's funny you say that because one of my knots is actually I went up against Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis in my other league. Someone had Stephon Diggs as their wide receiver one and Gabe Davis as their flex. And I ran into that the hard way. Not a good first night for the kid at all. So that's my knot for this week is that, just that in general. But I have one more knot that I'm going to add on. It's Matthew Stafford. So I don't know if you guys saw the game last night, which I hope everyone who's listening to this did, because it'd be just downright disrespectful if you did not watch the first night of the NFL. You should not be listening to this podcast. However, Matthew Stafford is nothing but pure fraudulent. If we couldn't tell
I
last
don't know
night,
about that one.
oh, God, he was the worst player on that football field not far. Whether it was the picks he was throwing, the decisions he was making, he was terrible all night long. The only reason the Rams didn't lose that game 42-0 was because the Rams defense had 3 turnovers in the first half. That was it. If it wasn't for the Rams defense and the turnovers they made, they would have lost by 1,000 points. This team was terrible. Okay. And by the way, I don't know if you saw, Cooper Kupp had 100-some-odd yards last night. The entire Rams wide receiver core, everyone else combined together, had less receiving yards than Cooper Kupp. Now, I get it. He's your number one guy. He should be getting the most yards. But the fact of the matter is that you can't even throw the ball out. You can't You can't get the ball going around, get everybody involved. You know why? Because you're not talented enough. You're not good enough. You miss OBJ.
I disagree there.
Well, here's the problem, Joseph, is I have the facts. And the facts show that Matthew Stafford was one of the biggest reasons they lost that game last night, and he would have been an even bigger reason had they didn't have a good defense.
But you're forgetting that the Bills have an incredible defense now. The Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. And the Rams' offensive line played like garbage.
Now, is that a lock,
Allen
Joseph?
Robinson is a bum.
Is that a lock? Remember when you say things like this, you got to be the Bills winning the Super Bowl. You think it's a lock?
Oh, absolutely. I've already been on record saying the Bills are going to be amazing this year. But no, see. Here's the thing. Here we're forgetting that you say throw the ball around, right? I'm not a big Allen Robinson guy, and I know a lot of people hyped up the grab over the offseason. I was a big Robert Woods guy. I thought the loss of OBJ would hurt. Thought the loss of Robert Woods would hurt. And I mean, Cooper Kupp's going to have an incredible year, obviously, because he's on my fantasy team. So he's obviously he has to have a great year, otherwise I'm cutting him. But I don't think it's all on Matthew Stafford. I think that's more of just the Bills showing what they're going to do this year. I think the Bills are just going to dominate everybody, in my opinion. I think Josh Allen's that guy. I think the defense is that guy. And the Rams are going to have a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover. They'll be fine, but they're not getting back to where they were.
The Bills, I think the Bills overall we can say are just that guy. The Buffalo Bills roster overall, especially after last night, I mean, Jesus. You know what's scary? They didn't even have Tre'Davious White. They didn't even have their best cornerback. They are literally they are loaded, dude. Their defense was unbelievable. Their offense looked scarier than ever. Like, they looked so freaking good. And it's to me it's like I feel like we've been saying that the Bills are going to be good for the past 2 years. We've been saying they're going to be the best team in the NFL. And it seems like every year they do this. They start off so hot. I really hope it's not another one of those years where they start off hot and don't end up how we all think they're going to. I really hope they play up to standard. I hope they play and show us what they can really do. But we'll see. Let's get moving on here. We got a lot to talk about. Should we talk a little college football here, Joseph? A little college football for the weekend?
Yeah, there's a couple good games this week.
Mm-hmm.
There's some solid games this week that we might want to dive into. Before
we get into that, how about the new AP Top 25 poll? Utah is out. Florida, my Gators went all the way up to, some would say it was 14th, I believe, 12 or 14th. What a jump for them. Was out of the AP Top 25 last week, now in the AP Top 25.
You love your Gators, huh?
Yeah, well, dude, that's where I'm going to college next year, Joseph, and that's where I need to start repping the swamp. I need to start repping the swamp early. I'm excited. I really. This is a good team. This is a good. Yep, exactly, Joseph. You know the real drill. But one thing that's not talked about is the Big Ten and how good they're looking. Both Michigan teams in the top 25 this year. Ohio State in the top 25. The Big Ten is growing.
Jumping up there.
Wisconsin's moving their way up there. The Big Ten is.
I guarantee
really
you, Minnesota
will
be in the top 25 by season's end.
I'll do you one better. I think it's going to be Minnesota versus USC in the Rose Bowl this year. Honest prediction. I think it's going to be Minnesota versus USC in the Rose Bowl.
I love that.
That's my honest prediction, Joseph.
I love the Gophers this year. As much as I hate the Gophers, I love the Gophers this year.
I can get behind that, Joseph. Get behind that 100%. That's a great play. But
yeah, the Utah loss was tough for me. I was a big Utah guy. Might have to hop off there. Pac-12 is just fraudulent. I mean, just totally fraudulent.
I think that goes without say.
Oregon just embarrassed. Like, I mean, that's just. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that gets you just knocked off the face of the planet. They dropped from 11 out of the top 25 with that loss.
Well, that was a bad loss.
Like, that's just embarrassing.
That was a really bad loss.
That's just embarrassing. USC is about their only hope. UCLA can't get more than 15 fans to show up to their games. Pac-12 is just a bum conference.
I still cannot believe that this is still going on.
What?
The fact that you saw that UCLA could only have their family at the games. Are we serious right now? Are we serious?
Wait, really?
That is unbelievable. Only their family, dude. Yes, bro. That's why there was no one there. It was only
No,
family
I
who was
think
allowed
that's
to
a
go.
joke.
No. I don't think it is.
I feel like you're messing with me right now.
Bro, look it up. That's
think
why
you just have
no
no
one
fans,
goes.
bro.
No. That's not having no fans. That's like you accidentally let the gates open and people just wandered in just because they had nothing to do for their days. Like that's bad. There's no way.
Where did you see this? I did not see this anywhere. I'll have to fact check you on that one later. But we'll roll with it for now.
Well, no, don't roll with it if it's not true. But I'm pretty sure I saw something on Instagram that said that UCLA only allows their families of the games, which I wouldn't be surprised because it's like that. You saw that pan around of that stadium. There was no one there.
That's tough,
no one.
Dude.
That was
there's
terrible.
more people at like our baseball games than there's more people at our gymnastics meets than that. Like that's crazy.
How rowdy did the Nebraska gymnastics
let's
meets get?
Oh, they get pumping. Gymnastics here, we're good. Let's get into Texas, Alabama, because that's what everyone wants to talk about this week. Who you got?
So I think obviously with team odds, it'd be wrong to not go with Alabama. I think Alabama is a better overall team than Texas. There's a little matchup that I want to talk about though. It's the QB matchup. The QB matchup versus Quinn Ewers and Bryce Young. I love Quinn Ewers. I think he's a stud. I think he's gonna be really good. But overall, I think when you ask the question who's gonna perform better on Saturday, it's tough because Quinn Ewers is going against Alabama, which is literally the best overall team in college football. And then you got one of Georgia, we don't know. And then you got Bryce Young, Heisman winning quarterback, just coming off a great season, hopefully to do it again this year. It's so tough to say who's going to do good, but in my opinion, I think with a big game like this, big game on the line, where this is a big Saturday, everyone's going to be watching. It's going to be who can step up the most. I think it's going to be Bryce Young. He's been here in the situation. He's got the team around him. I think he's going to do really, really good this Saturday. I'm not saying Quinn Ewers is going to struggle, but I think Bryce Young is going to do better than he is.
I'll take you one step further there. I don't even think this is a big game. I don't know why this is a big game, to be honest. Can you give me one good reason why this is a big game?
I think it's got
Texas is not ranked. Texas is not good. Alabama's going to win by 25 points. They're going to just smoke the Longhorns on their own turf, and it's not even going to be competitive. If Texas was ranked, if this was like Alabama, like Ohio State here, yeah, that's a big game. Texas is not a good team. Texas is not even the best team in the Big 12. I don't know why we're hyping them up so much. Just because they're Texas and they got a good quarterback.
Right. I completely understand that.
Quinn Ewers is a great quarterback, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm. It's the QB matchup.
He hasn't played.
Joseph does not feel good about this big game. He did not like that we. Yeah. Let me tell you, people who are not watching on the YouTube, if we were to see Joseph's face right now, he wants zero part of this Texas Alabama game.
Zero part of the Longhorns.
I think.
Horns down.
I love it, Joseph. I love every second of it,
but.
That definitely can happen. That's a good question. Why even is it a big game? I don't know, to be honest with you. I think it's just two huge big-time football programs around the country, two big-time quarterback matchups.
That's fair.
The Texas still has one of the best running backs, Brian Robinson, in all of football. It's tough. It's obviously the teams are not on the same level, and that's why the question
Robinson.
where you ask. Yeah, don't. I know. I knew I said it. I was hoping you wouldn't say anything, but I just wanted to move on. But regardless, I think they both have talented players. I think overall as a team, Alabama's way better. I think we all know that. But I think just overall as a matchup, college football Saturday, Texas versus Alabama, hearing that, saying that, seeing the two pictures on the field on Saturday, it's an iconic football matchup. So I think that's why it's big. It's why it's a huge matchup overall. But
no, it'll be
regardless,
cool.
I think
it'll be cool.
It will be cool.
That burnt orange going against the crimson, but after the first quarter, it won't be very fun to watch anymore. There's actually I'm upset about this because there's actually some good games this week that are going to be close and competitive that game day is not at and they're not getting enough hype. We got Tennessee, Pittsburgh, that's a great game. Kentucky, Florida, an SEC battle. Your Gators in the
Yes, sir.
swamp,
Yes, sir.
welcoming the Wildcats. I like that one. Baylor, BYU.
Yep.
Christians versus Mormons. How about that? I'm saying. There we go.
It's a matchup of the religions this week. I don't know what to tell you. But the thing is, Joseph, is that this is what fall is about. It's getting here on Fridays. It's looking over the matchups on Saturday, looking over the matchups on Sunday. Really talking about the matchups, and more importantly, accepting the fact that you're going to be sitting on your ass all Saturday, Sunday, watching these games like the degenerate asshole that you are. And that is what I love about the fall time. No one can say anything. You're not wrong for sitting in your house on a Saturday and Sunday and sitting on your ass. You're not a wrong guy for doing that. So that is why I love this time of year. Absolutely love it.
I'll tell you what. The game day atmosphere this year, since COVID I guess we're not done with COVID, but the hype. Last Saturday in Lincoln, we had Bussin' with the Boys came. I don't know if you saw that. Will Compton was in town. The bus was in town. The tailgating was hype. Everybody was out of their minds drunk. It was crazy. And I'm a journalist, so I'm just, peacefully watching this, walking by the tailgates. It's just a great scene on college game days. I bet it is at every other university. Here it is amazing. I bet it's great at other universities. I need to get to some other tailgates. I need to get around the country, go to some game days, because college game day in town is electric. You go to the tailgates, you go to the game, it's hot as balls in the stadium. You watch a hopefully great performance. I get to watch it from up above. I don't actually get to be a part of that, but it's fun to watch all the little dots of people watching football. College football is back, but you know what else is back, Evan? It's NFL. And for me, I love college football. NFL is still my baby. I love the NFL with all my heart. I have for my entire life, and it's back. And we're gonna do a little new segment this season. You want to explain the segment with our betting?
So it's a little gambling segment. I figured we can do this we can, 1, talk about games, and 2, talk about gambling. I know a lot of people who listen to this want gambling. They ask for our picks. Now that the NFL is back, we will be giving out this every week. So it's a little gambling segment we're going to do. You can call it betting, gambling, whatever you want to call it. We don't have a name for it. It is what it is. Basically, me and Joseph are going to do 3 things. 1, we're going to pick a game of the week. And with that game of the week, we have to pick a winner, right? So that'll be our money line pick for the week. It's the biggest matchup, and we also want to have the biggest winner each game. So we're going to have that'll be that. Then the other 2 picks can be any prop bet. So you can do, Tom Brady over in passing yards. You can do a spread. You can do an over-under. You can do whatever. It can be any prop bet, but you have to pick 2 of them, okay? And you have to pick them for the week. So I'm going to start us off. I'm going to get us going for the week. My matchup of the week is the Bucs versus the Cowboys. Sunday Night Football, primetime game. There's not too many great matchups this week. Some could say Packers-Vikings, blah, blah, blah. Some would say Thursday Night Football could have been the matchup of the week. Probably would have been if we would have done this beforehand, but we didn't. But big matchup. Tom Brady has never lost against the Cowboys before. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys getting their primetime game. We'll see how this goes for either team. It really can go either way. But here's what I will say. I'm excited as hell for this game. Tom Brady's possibly final year in the NFL. And my money line winner is the Bucs. I think the Bucs are going to come in week 1, dominate the Cowboys. Tom's going to remain undefeated against the Cowboys for his entire career, no doubt about it. I love it. I stay riding with it. That is my money line game pick of the week. Now, for my 2 prop bets, I'm not doing anything specific this week. I'm not doing players. I'm not doing this. Here's what I'm doing, okay? I'm doing spreads. I'm doing 2 different spreads this week, okay?
Okay, so not necessarily prop bets, just any other.
Necessarily prop bets. For the first spread, I'm going Baltimore -7. I think Baltimore is going to dominate the New York Jets this week. I think the New York Jets are going to have extreme problems dealing with Lamar, dealing with that offense, dealing with the Ravens' defense. Now the Jets have gotten better. I have more expectation for the Jets than I have in any other past years than this year. But still, I think the Ravens are going to dominate them, come in week 1, really make a statement this year. I think the Ravens are back this year overall. And then this one's going to be really hot. I'm going under I'm taking the 44 and 46.5 under for the New England-Miami game. I think this game is not going to be as high scoring as they think. I think this is going to be a battle of the defenses.
I love that pick, actually.
I think Bill Belichick's going to come in there looking to slow down Tua in Miami. I think Miami's looking to do the exact same thing with New England and a young Mac Jones at their helm of quarterback. Not necessarily an offensive-heavy team. Both very, very good, though, and I think they can be very good defensively and slow each other down. Joseph, let's slide on over to you. What do you got for your picks?
I like your picks. All right, so my game of the week, obviously, Chargers-Raiders. There's a little bit of tension here from the way the last season ended, and it's a rivalry.
Tension?
And I'm expecting
what tension is driven up between these two?
Because the wrong team made the playoffs, and everybody knows this.
Oh my god!
So this year, out for vengeance. And your Los Angeles Chargers are going to beat the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm taking the Chargers money line in that one. That's my game of the week, but I don't think it'll be necessarily close. I just am excited for the matchup. And it's my personal opinion, so you can, screw off. Let's see here. I'm also going with the Patriots plus 3.5. I liked your under. I'm going Patriots plus 3.5. I think it's going to take some time for that Miami offense to gel. I think the Patriots might cause Tua some fits. It's going to take some time for him and the guys to really, Tyreek to get going. So I'm taking the Patriots plus 3.5. That might be a little bit of a controversial take, but I like Billy B and the boys to at least cover the spread with Miami. I won't take them outright. But the team I will take outright is the Minnesota Vikings. They're plus 1.5 at my line against the Packers. I'm taking the Vikings to cover the plus 1.5 and win outright over the Packers. We are both high on the Vikings this year. Wait, no, you're not high on the Vikings. You're high on the Packers.
I'm not high on the Vikings at all. At all,
okay,
some would say.
You hate the Vikings. I'm high on the Vikings.
But
all right. So yes,
Joseph, I do like those picks.
Plus 1.5.
I like those picks a lot, and that's a risky play with the Vikings play, but I like the risk. I like coming in week 1, coming in a little hot. I should have known you were going Chargers Raiders on that game of the week, but it is what it is.
Have to.
So for this last little bit here, we're just gonna shoot through all the NFL games. We're gonna preview week 1 because I can't tell you guys how goddamn excited me and Joseph are. The NFL is back. We had to go through all the matchups. So Joseph, I'm gonna read off the matchups. You say who's gonna win. Say how you feel about it. We'll go really fast here. Go through quick,
Boom.
and then that'll be the show. All right, Baltimore, New York Jets. I got Baltimore, I think.
I got Baltimore as well.
All right, New England, Miami.
That's tough. I'm still going to take Miami, but I think it's going to be a 3-point game, and I like the 3.5 spread.
Right behind you on that. I think it's going to be a close game, but I got Miami as the overall winners this week. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati.
Well, you love your boy Kenny Pickett, but he's not playing. So I guess you'll have to go with Joey B and the boys. I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals on that one.
Yeah, no Kenny Pickett. I'm going with the Bayou Bengals on that one. All right, Philadelphia, Detroit.
You know how high I am on the Eagles this year. So I'm also high on the Lions, to be fair. Higher than most. But I'm going to go with the Eagles there. It's actually a close spread. It's 4 on mine. Mm-hmm. I think the Eagles might win by more than 4. I think the Eagles are going to come out with the show. Lions will still be good, but I got the Eagles in that one.
Yeah, I mean, I heavily disagree. I'm going Detroit on this one. I think Detroit's going to come out week 1. I think when you're a hard knock special team, you got a lot to prove. You got a lot to show. I got Detroit coming in.
Maybe bite some kneecaps off here.
Yeah, well, we will see, Joseph. Jacksonville, Washington.
That's a tough game. I'm still going Washington. I don't mind the Commanders this year. I don't mind them. I did say the Jaguars are going to finish second in the AFC South. I'm kind of regretting that. But I think that the Commanders are going to win this game.
I go right behind you. It was close. I was going to say Jacksonville because I really do like the Jaguars, but I'm going with the Commanders. I think the Commanders are more experienced, better team. It's going to take Jacksonville a little bit with the new coach and everything, so I'm going to go Washington on that one. New Orleans, Atlanta.
New Orleans.
Oh, come on.
I think that will be even close.
New Orleans, don't even need to talk about it. Indianapolis, Houston.
I love long neck Davis Mills, but I think the Colts are just gonna be too good for the Texans this year.
Yeah, I'm going Indianapolis -7. I don't think it's even close. I think they're gonna dominate them. This is my matchup of the week for the 1:00 games. San Francisco, Chicago.
Okay. This is your matchup of the week. I think this game will be a 20-point San Francisco win.
Okay, well, there's Joseph's mind about it. I agree. I think San Francisco is going to win. I don't know if it's going to be a blowout now, but we will see. Cleveland, Carolina.
The Bears suck. Clip that.
Okay. Cleveland, Carolina.
Oh, you know who I'm going here. Carolina all the way. It's somehow a pick'em game. I don't know. I mean, I feel like the Browns are still the better team, but it's a pick'em game right now. But I'm picking the Panthers. How good would that be for Baker to go in and beat his former team? Just a huge middle finger to the organization. It's got to happen. It has to happen, dude.
I would love for it to happen, but I still got Cleveland on this one. I don't think the Panthers are good enough.
I wish it was in Cleveland. I wish it was in Cleveland.
That would be so good, dude.
That would be
so good. Las Vegas,
he'd be talking trash,
LA. He would. Las Vegas Chargers. I think
you know.
Yeah, we know where you're going. Chargers. I'm gonna ride with the Chargers too. I think the Chargers are really good.
Okay.
Kansas City, Arizona. Come on.
I'm gonna go the Chiefs.
No D-Hop.
I think. Yeah. I am worried a little bit of how their offense is gonna gel without Tyreek out of the gate, but I'm sure Mahomes will take care of it. While he's sitting on my fantasy bench, by the way.
Yeah, I know. For those of you who don't know, Joseph drafted Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes on the same team, and we still to this day.
It was a mistake, but I'm still going to
no kidding.
Well, I clicked auto draft. Well, I clicked whatever.
Here he goes. Yeah. Here he goes. Green Bay.
I had both of them readied. I'm going Minnesota, like you said. Like I said earlier, I think the Vikings are going to win. Even if Green Bay wins the division this year, I still think the Vikings are going to start hot and beat them there.
Okay. I'm going to go Green Bay. I think A-Rod and the boys are going to come in there. I think A-Rod's a stud, obviously, and I think they're going to win it. Giants versus Titans.
I'm really tempted to go Giants here because I'm out on the Titans this year. But I'm still going to go Titans, I think.
Okay, good. Bad, I'm going Titans too. I'm
tempted.
Tampa Bay, Dallas. Everyone knows my pick. What's yours?
Yeah, I'm also going Tampa Bay here. I don't like the Cowboys this year either. And Tampa's gonna do their thing. They added enough weapons. They just somehow keep getting better and retaining their pieces. So a little worried about the offensive line there, but I think they'll be fine.
And finally, for what some would say is quite possibly the biggest rivalry, biggest tension in the NFL, Monday Night Football, Denver versus Seattle. I mean, I think we all know who's going to win that one. I don't even think we need to talk about it. We won't waste our time.
I don't know.
No, Joseph. No, this is what you're doing. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing here, and that's fine. You can play that game. You worry about the
Russell Wilson's
Raiders.
not
You
used
got
to
Raiders.
Denver.
You got the Raiders this week. We got the Seahawks. You worry about your team. I'll worry about my team. All right.
No.
Speaking of which, just to give a little Week 2 preview, I have the Chargers losing by 40 points on Thursday Night Football against the Chiefs next week. I just want to put that out there. And that's one of those things where if there was a spread, I'd take out a second mortgage on the house and say that the Chiefs would beat them by 40 points on national TV and the Chargers get dominated. I don't think Justin Herbert has what it takes to play in primetime games. I don't think Justin Herbert has that clutch bone.
Incredibly. That's going to age incredibly well. I just can't wait.
What are you talking? I'll tell you one thing. If the Chargers beat Chiefs on Thursday Night Football, I will post a video of me. Post a video of me jumping in a pond with crocodiles in it, with alligators in it in Florida, because I don't think it's possible. I don't even think it's possible. But we're not going to get into that just yet. All right. Thank you all for listening. We are back. We are better than ever.
NFL is back.
It's
college football is back.
This is it, folks. This is what you've been waiting for. Fall is coming. NBA is not too far away. October 18th is opening day. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot be more excited to be back. We are going to come back with weekly content. The TikToks, the Instagrams, the Apple Podcasts, the Spotify, whatever you need to get us on. We can listen to you. We can be there for you. Please, please join the ride. Thank you all for listening. Joseph, please send us off.
Peace.